This episode of Off My Shelf contains coarse language and adult conversation. Listener discretion is advised. Hello, my name is Tracy James and welcome to Off My Shelf, a podcast about movies that are well off my shelf, where we go through my DVDs and talk about the movies in my collection. In this episode, Leslie Miller and Michael Freethy are here to chat about a short-lived but critically and commercially acclaimed Chappelle show. Welcome!
Woo!
Hola!
We should note before we go on that Mike and I are married, so this might go very badly.
Or it might be exactly what we're looking for. Who knows?
Sorry if there's yelling.
I'm going to keep the bickering in this. I'm just letting you know. It's going to happen.
Just feed it.
Yes.
No comment.
He knows what's good for him. It's fine. Thank you for doing this episode.
Thank you.
I know it was fun to relive the Chappelle show in general.
Yeah.
But there were definitely, I don't know, I haven't watched it in a very long time. So there were definitely a lot of eyebrow raising on my end. So
Yeah. No, it's I don't know if it holds up as well as I thought it would.
What are you talking about? We were dying watching it this week.
We were dying.
I think a lot of the skits hold up in terms of comedic value. Now, in terms of subject matter, we'll see. We'll see when we
I
dive
actually
into
kind of agree with that. But I even certain things that I knew I laughed at back in the day just because they were funny. Mm-hmm. Now I laugh at it's funny, but I'm really uncomfortable that I'm laughing about this.
Yeah. I'm sure we'll touch on all of that of what's uncomfortable, and there was quite a few skits I found at the first season was a lot more uncomfortable for me than the second season, and I thought the second season was a lot funnier than the first
really
season. Yeah.
I was feeling kind of the opposite.
Oh, all right.
Well, what's wrong with you?
Oh my god, I'm not the one you're married to. Come on.
We just gang up and turn on you.
So is this what it's going to be like
This is
then?
how it's going to be.
Oh no, I'm in trouble. God. Well, I guess we can start at season 1.
All right.
Yeah.
Was it the first episode that had my favorite? That's one of my favorite skits.
Clayton Bigsby.
Yeah.
First episode.
Yeah.
I was shocked.
Yeah.
I was like, this was the first episode of this show?
I know.
Yeah.
I could have sworn it was season 2, somewhere at the end somewhere. No. First episode, second skit, black KKK member. You're like, what?
I think it's a great skit that kind of set the tone for the rest of the short-lived series and how controversial or how far
he was going to push it.
Yeah, that they were going to push the laughs. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's one of my favorite all-time, probably comedic skits.
Yeah.
In the last few decades.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good one. We were dying laughing. It's still as funny when the guy in the audience's head blew up when they realized. It was amazing.
His mind was blown, literally. Yes. But what I thought was really funny, which is something I don't know why I didn't pick up before, was because, black people and lotion is a thing that goes together.
Yeah.
Because we get ashy. And man, he was ashy when he took off that thing. I was like, why are you so ashy?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, man.
It's like Ashy Larry that comes later on.
Ashy Larry. Oh, yeah. Ashy Larry's good times. Yeah. Also, as another sort of beginning of this episode precursor, I am extremely white, so I probably won't have too much. So, some of these conversations are going to be very awkward for me.
Wait, I'm sorry. You get awkward with inappropriate conversations?
When I'm not in my
About
zone.
race?
About race. When it's not my area of expertise.
Don't worry, we won't hold it against you too much.
We'll see.
Yes.
I mean, for me, I found the first season, there was a lot of... I found that there were skits that were really, really funny, and then there were skits that, it felt like just throwaway skits. There wasn't...
Just felt...
filler, kind of.
Yeah, there's... I think especially with like the first season, I felt like there were skits that were clear, kind of like leaders or like shining skits, and then there wasn't much in between. It's either like it hit the nail on the head for laughs, or it kind of fell flat. But I think for a first season, I mean, they're probably
it's a decent first season.
Yeah, they're feeling it out, right, to see what hits, what misses, and that's, I mean, just to echo what Leslie's saying. Not just saying that because she's my wife, but I did feel season 2 was quite a bit stronger.
Yeah.
Well,
in terms of like the hit skits.
Yeah. Well, I guess too, they're in their stride. They kind of know their audience and what they think is funny, what they're going for, and people have figured out how to curate what's going to be on air better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So maybe that's what it is.
Was the Real World one in first season? Do you remember?
No. Second season?
Was it?
Yeah, we're gonna check it on the internet.
On the internet.
Well, I wrote things down, but apparently
Real World you're right.
wasn't one of the things I wrote down.
Yeah, I think it was the first season.
Yeah. Because that made me extremely uncomfortable. That was the one skit that made me so
because it was like me too. It made me really uncomfortable because it was racist. Like the show is about. I mean, it's Chappelle's show. He's gonna talk about racial divides and all that kind of stuff, right? Yeah. But why is it that you have this real world thing and you bring out the most negative stereotypes of black people? Yeah. And what people expect black people are supposed to be like. Yeah. And then have this one white kid in there and he's tortured by them. I'm like, that's not a proper way to set things up. It should be, he should walk in and be like, I'm scared of you black people. And you're like, but what? We're just like you or some nonsense, whatever, right?
Yeah. And I think he was kind of trying to prove the point at the beginning of the skit when he was saying, I hate the real world because it'll be a bunch of crazy white people and then one black person that just feels uncomfortable in that house. So he was trying to flip the switch, but I don't know if it was so over the top satirical that it made me so uncomfortable. Like,
I just didn't like the skit at all. I didn't think it was funny. I just thought it was excessively mean. Yeah. And it went on too long.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, it was a long one.
That was the thing. Yeah. Because I think there's a difference between a crazy person and people who are just a bunch of stereotypes. Yeah. And those were just a bunch of stereotypes. They weren't crazy. They were just assholes. Like, that was it. Yeah.
So that was the one out of the first season that I was like, oh, this is really making
not working for you?
Not working for me. And I don't think it worked for me when I watched it the first time, which was when...
Probably not.
We were in third year of university, so I would have been... So about 14 years ago was the first time we watched that show.
Well, it came out in 2003, so that's when it was on, pretty much.
Yeah, and I remember it made me feel uncomfortable watching it then too, so I wasn't looking forward to it. But then you get in season 2 the Puff Daddy one.
Oh my god, that is so funny.
That might be my favorite skit. Yeah, that one.
Well, the Making the Band.
Making the Band.
Because it's not about like people being stereotypes. It's about we're recreating a show and this is how lame this show is. Yeah. That's all it is, right?
Yeah. Well, and that's what, satire is taking somebody's conception and just overemphasizing, over dramatic, over everything so that it becomes funny. But just like going back to that Real World sketch, it didn't do that for me at all. No. I just was like,
it shouldn't have done anything for anybody. No. Like, and I'm surprised, like, even though he's already there and he's crossing lines and all this kind of stuff, somebody should have been like, no, that's not what this is. No. This is something else. Yeah. There's a line that shouldn't be crossed, and we know
and it's way back there.
Yeah, and we know he likes to jump across those lines all the time. Yeah, fine, but there are other ones where you're like, no, these crisscross. Don't do that one. Go over here.
Yeah,
kind of thing.
Yeah. So, which I mean, I don't know if now is a good time to talk about sort of the controversy of him leaving. Was that Comedy Central was starting to get too involved with how the show should be and how the show should be run, and he was running the show as well as the guy from
Neal Brennan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got he's got one of the creator credits.
Yeah. And apparently they had a huge riff when that happened because Neal lost his job and he was becoming not as successful, but he was becoming rich and famous because of the show as well, as the writing and exec producer and creator. And then when Dave Chappelle walked away from it, that kind of ruined that friendship. But some of the skits that he has done, because they were pushing boundaries, and I think it's one of the first shows on Comedy Central, at least.
It's one of the early ones, yeah.
And one of the first ones that were pushing those boundaries. Like, you would not see stuff like that on MadTV or Saturday Night Live back in the day. Not as much.
I mean, you are forgetting In Living Color.
Yes. Mike was already Googling it on his computer. Mike's the less fun one in the relationship.
Yeah, because I was actually on the same sort of path early on when I was thinking about what I was going to try and talk about in this episode. And I was like, oh no, Chappelle Show's like the first show to have lead black people and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, wait a second, no. I'm forgetting In Living Color. And without In Living Color, there's no way this show would have been on TV, right? And even at that time,
100%.
like, In Living Color was kind of, like, they weren't passive or anything, but they were really good at that satirical level, but they also weren't stereotypical at any point in time, really.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And I think that's the difference between, like, they were never mean in their jokes. No. Whereas I find this show, at certain points, even though I embarrassingly laughed, you know, very loudly as I sat in my apartment by myself watching it, but like there were skits that were just flat out mean, and you're just like, oh my god, why am I laughing? This is why I'm going to hell. Yeah. So
no, and I think I was thinking more after, because I don't think there would have been even like Amy Schumer's show with the whole stand up and then skits. Like he kind of started all of that, I felt like, and then Key and Peele
formula.
Yeah,
that was all very much like.
But Key and Peele was a lot less skit in between.
Yeah.
You know, it was just like, oh my god, blah, 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 go to a thing. But they never did like a setup or a punchline before the skit happened. They're like, here's the thing. And the thing with Amy Schumer as well, it was always kind of like at the end or the very beginning was a skit, but everything in between just kept going. Yeah. You know? Yeah. So people use the format in slightly different ways. Yeah. But he definitely put like a stamp of approval on that format at that point in time. Yeah. And I think all those ones afterwards were Comedy Central shows. Maybe not. I know Amy is. Amy Schumer is, for sure. But maybe not Key and Peele. Well, Key and Peele started as like a web series. Right. And they switched over. Yeah. And one of the...
They were on MadTV, weren't they?
Together.
Both of them? At one point, they were cast members?
Internet.
Confirm.
Keegan-Michael Key was on it for sure. I don't know about Jordan. I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't remember them being on it, because I think probably about MadTV was on for a surprisingly long period of time. Yeah, and stopped being good, like The Simpsons, way before it was canceled. So yeah.
They were on MadTV together.
Yeah, they were on MadTV together. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, like I stopped watching it probably like
after a few seasons.
Yeah, it wasn't that far, and you know. Yeah. It was when like a lot of the original cast started to leave. Yeah. And they started switching out. Yeah. And then they started to try to like up the ante on the humor a little bit more, and started taking out the mad elements out of it. Like you know, because they don't have like a spy versus spy something and stuff in between, which I always thought was great, because you're calling it MadTV because it's based on Mad Magazine. You need these little elements.
But really, at the end of the day, they were just fighting with SNL, right? So they were going to try and make it as SNL-esque as it was. And probably
they did have the power of Bobby Lee, too.
They did have the power of Bobby.
I love a good Bobby Lee skit.
No, it's all about Lamar.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
He's a great voice actor.
He is. He's fantastic.
Wasn't he Samurai Jack?
He was Samurai Jack. Yeah.
Yes. I think he did some voices on the Clone Wars, the Star Wars Clone Wars show too.
Yeah. You don't have to think. Tracy will know the answer to that.
Yes.
There you go.
He's done so many characters and
yeah.
so many things.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy. And the thing is, it's half of them. I didn't realize it until like I read about it, and I was like, he's the voice in that show. And then you hear it, and they're like, oh, that's clearly Phil Lamar. Like, how did I not pick up on this earlier?
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
It's one of those things.
He's like Brock Samson from.
Oh my god.
What's his name? Yeah.
Oh, that guy. Yeah, but he sounds almost the same and everything.
He
though.
does. Yeah, that's how you know.
That's
and
how
you're
you
like,
know him.
oh, it's Brock
But
Samson.
his voice
like-
is so awesome.
It's like H. John Benjamin. He does the same voice with everything.
yeah.
Because it's so iconic. And like, you don't need to change for anything. You be Archer. You be Bob. You be Coach McGurk. You be whatever you want to be.
Yeah.
We love it.
Yeah. Yeah, we our son, who is 4, was watching Puppy Dog Pals on Disney Junior, and he was the voice of like a dog that's like a dog hero, and it was the same voice as everything else he's ever been in. So yeah, so he doesn't.
I think he did like a voice on a Simpsons episode. Like he was a guest on like, a
Probably,
Simpsons episode or something.
Yeah.
Everybody under the sun's been a guest on.
Yes.
I hope they'll call me one day and be like, hey, do you want to do a
Oh,
voice?
you haven't been
And
on?
you're like,
Oh.
I know, right?
Your time will come.
Yeah, I was.
It's gonna happen.
2001. Not at all.
She shook her head. She's crazy.
She's a liar.
I don't believe her. Leslie tells lies, guys. Just remember that. Yes.
Okay, back to
Chappelle Show.
Chappelle Show.
Chappelle Show.
Um,
Chappelle Show. Sorry.
yeah, a lot of my notes, like, the first episode has proper notes and the second episode has proper notes, but everything else just like, this happened in this episode. It's like line. That's it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, because you can't keep up with the jokes and how quickly things move, or else I'd be pausing every 3 seconds so I don't miss something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we were rewinding parts, but mostly it was just jokes that we were really laughing at. So we
you're like, I gotta hear that one again.
Yeah, we do that. We also do that on America's Funniest Home Videos when a kid is getting like knocked over by an animal.
Wait,
we rewind it.
That is still on TV?
Yep.
Yeah.
Every Sunday.
Alfonso Ribeiro. Carlton. He's the host now.
Are you serious?
No,
Yeah.
we watch it every week.
Why didn't he go
It's
back to being a
timeless.
b-boy? Like, I don't understand. He's so good at it.
Well, I think
Yeah.
Disney money's pretty good.
Yeah, Disney money probably is okay.
I think it's pretty good.
He did do Dancing with the Stars a couple
Yeah.
years ago.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So, like, what skits in, like, season 1 kind of, like, besides the... So we did the KKK one, and then there's the Real World one. Anything else?
Anything
season
else
1 that you're
stand
just
out
like...
to you was season 1 that was really funny? I'm just thinking on season 2. I'm sorry.
Well, I think just like
terrible. But...
the crack addict, like Tyrone.
Yeah, was he started in season 1?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I have
hate-
here, second episode.
oh
Holy
yeah, because
shit.
they bring him into
It's
like the
awful.
school to talk
Yes,
to
that's right.
little kids about not taking drugs or
But
whatever.
encouraging them like to take
At the
drugs.
same
And how
time.
easy it is to find it.
Actually, the thing I found even funnier about that is, so at the end of the skit, because you know when they do, you see like little Tyrone and they have like, and it's like a piece of poop on the ground.
Oh god.
And then every time I see that picture, it's disgusting. But at the end, Chappelle was just like, yeah, the prop guy, he was putting it down, melting it, and he'd like lick his fingers.
Oh.
Yeah, because it was a Snickers bar.
It was a Snickers bar or something.
Yeah.
I thought that was the actual funniness in that skit. I was just like, oh my god.
We I wish I knew his name because I could say it, but Mike and I went to the X to the CNE, and there was a guy that was selling.
Oh yeah, I was gonna bring that up.
That was selling a bunch of figurines, and one of them was what's his name? Tyrone?
Tyrone Biggums.
Tyrone with the like cocaine around his nose that he had made. Like he had made
Crack.
it. I almost bought it. It was between that and Rastamouse.
Oh,
and I went Rastamouse.
Yeah, so this guy.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, sorry. This guy makes figurines, and he chose to make that as a figurine.
Yeah, so we'll find him online, and you can post a link.
Yeah, he's amazing.
On your page for the podcast. But he it is really cool. So it was random, but we came across him, and it's something he sculpts custom kind of I guess pop culture characters.
Yeah.
So he had some like Star Wars ones.
Yeah, he had
what else did
obvious ones too. Like he had Star Wars, he had a lot of Marvel stuff too.
Yeah, but then he would have random ones like this one he made of Tyrone, but it was like a little set piece because I think it had like...
The garbage can.
Yeah, there's a garbage can and like probably little rats running around in the alley. Like it was just, we saw them and we knew right away, we're like, holy shit, it's Dave Chappelle right there.
Yeah. And it was so random, but what's even more random was that he made a Rastamouse.
Exactly.
So I'm like, of course I'm buying a Rastamouse.
Yeah. Again, you'll have to post a link to let all the listeners know.
He's amazing.
Now I just have the Rastamouse song in my head, so it's fine. It's fine. I'm okay with it.
But yes, he's amazing. I forgot he was in first season. He's so good.
The Red Balls energy drink.
Yep. Yeah.
Bit that was.
My favorite is the smallest little part, but when he's with Snoop Dogg and Snoop's singing.
Oh, when he's at the side.
What I'm saying is, I think you're 5-0.
And just the scratching of the neck.
It makes you nervous. It makes you itchy. As he's just like there all the time. And he's like, you're like, no,
so you can see wearing an invisible turtleneck, a wool turtleneck. It's like...
And when he just kills and annihilates everybody on Fear Factor because he's like, I don't care. I'm getting this is for...
Well, that's the thing. So, oh my God, I watched way too many episodes of Fear Factor back in the day, and I don't know why. Because every episode was exactly the same. Touch something gross, eat something gross, do something that'll hurt you. That's the 3 parts, you know? Yeah. And there were a lot of testicles and things for some reason, which is not something you would think on a reality show would be an issue, but... Lots of testicles. Why?
Why so many testicles?
Why you gotta make people? Is it a joke? You just want to watch people eat dick? Like I don't.
Think they have to. I think they have to come up with things that they have to eat that are gross, but also won't like kill them or make them really ill. So they're like, let's go with testicles.
Yeah, but there's other things you can give people that aren't testicles. It was like, they'd have in a month they'd have 4 episodes and. Probably 3 of those episodes they're eating some sort of testicle.
Yeah.
You're like, have them eat a beetle, have them eat a worm, have them...
Or an eyeball. I wouldn't be able to eat an eyeball, because that is gross.
They squirt. It's weird. Don't ask me why I know that. It's fine. No, I'm not going to explain it. It's fine.
I'm good.
Yeah, we're good. Yeah, there's so many things out there that are gross to eat.
No, it's just testicles.
Give them one of those. What is it? Those cooked eggs that have like a embryo half done chicken. Yeah. You just like the bones are still soft. You just eat in the whole thing or whatever.
That's Filipino.
That is Filipino.
It is.
It's still gross. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Your heritage
agree with you,
gross.
100%. For the listeners who can't see me, I'm half Filipino. Although if you looked at me, you probably wouldn't guess that. So.
And I'm still very white. Why am I on this episode?
This is the thing. This is the colors of Benetton. We go from dark to medium to light.
That's right.
It's fine.
To see through.
Stand against the wall. Where did you go? It's fine. Whereas I stand in the shadows and I disappear. It's okay.
Oh, jeez. He's a great character that came from season 1. I forgot he was in season 1.
Yes. Yeah. He is awesome.
And he
trying to think of like other characters that are like that show up all the time.
Well,
because I know in the second season there's that guy who dances the robot in every episode. For
some
reason.
My God,
he's really funny.
That was one of our rewinds.
Yeah, because we saw him and we were like, okay, we got to rewind. Was that
Where
him?
is he looking?
He's just looking up towards the ceiling, and he's not even present.
He's just moving around. He's having a good time.
And he does the same dance in every episode, and it's just.
But his costume changes every time, and you're just like, I love it.
It's just a non-speaking part that just he's.
But he got so much airtime from it.
Yeah.
So much airtime. It's crazy.
He's amazing. I do love that guy. The little John character comes up quite a bit in season 2, right?
Well, you jump in season 2 again?
Well, she was asking about things that come up. So
yeah,
I want to talk about R. Kelly.
Oh, you go right ahead.
You go ahead.
It was like the Piss on You.
Oh, the video, and then
so it was just weirdly timely because we were just completely forgot that we'd seen that episode.
Yeah.
And we were just like, holy shit, was this poor behavior
Like,
has been going on for so long.
Yeah. How long has that been going on for? We're like...
Since early in his career, because they knew he was into little girls like really, really early into his career.
Yeah.
He secretly married Aaliyah when she was 14. There's a whole controversy about that.
Right.
I
forgot.
Then there was the
that.
peeing videos came out after that. And then there was assault charges against him. And that's what he's referring to when he... Remember he talks about like his new album came out and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's like, you can put down the man, but you can't... The music is the thing that's saving him right now. Mm-hmm. And it's all of the same allegations.
Yeah.
Right? And people ignore it because, no, the music's too good. You can't hurt him.
Oh, so it's Michael Jackson all over again.
It's Chris Brown as well. It's
Chris Brown was done for me after that. I loved Chris Brown, but that was done after the Rihanna thing. I was done. I haven't listened to a thing from him since.
But it shocks me how quickly his career came back after that.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, we're demonizing him. He's a horrible person, blah, blah, blah.
That's right.
And then you had all these women come up and be like, I let him hit me. No, that is not an appropriate response to that. That's
horrible,
disgusting.
Yeah.
You know, and then people and all of these celebrities were just like, I'll never work with him again, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Then his album comes out afterwards and you see all of these people have worked with him again.
Yeah.
And, you know, he's back on the top of his chart. He's getting all the money that he wants. And you're just like...
Which is so weird. Like, if you go... I know it's kind of randomly pulling it out, but a lot of people made the comparison to Ike and Tina Turner. Like, how could you hit... Rihanna, like, how could you do that to like the Hollywood star, right?
The person is the actual talent.
And so everyone just assumed his career would be over. Like Ike and Tina Turner, when she moved on, he was done, right? But it's, for some reason, I don't know.
People propped him back up. Because I think it's back to that, like, it's not bro culture, but it's, you know, that like, oh no, I've talked to him. He seemed like a really nice guy. I don't think that would have happened.
Yeah.
You know, it's that kind of like, because he wasn't mean to you, there's a doubt in your head that he couldn't have been mean to somebody else.
Yeah.
You know? Like, I'm nice to people, but sometimes I'm a real bitch. Guess what? You know, some people know and some people don't. What? But yeah, like, you're not always the same person with everybody.
No,
so it's whoever, you know, give people the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
You know, if she is at the side of a road covered in bruises and she's like, I was in the car with him and he hit me, I tend to believe her at that point.
And he admitted it.
He said he did it.
And it's just like, oh, well, I'm fine now. And then he was so awful to that other girl that he was with. He was cheating on Rihanna with.
I don't know. I don't know her name. Sorry. But she had to like get a restraining order from him and get away from him as well. And it's like, okay, there's woman number 2 and we're still, so yeah. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. But yeah, we were super surprised that that's been going on for as long, because we, I guess, don't follow R. Kelly enough. we know, right? We know like 2 R. Kelly songs. So
R. Kelly hermits.
Well, you got to know Ignition and Trapped in the Closet. That's all you got to know.
I think I just
but
know
just the
Ignition.
fact that like
I don't even
it goes
think
back.
I know Trapped in the Closet.
What?
I don't know.
Everybody knows Trapped in the Closet.
Do you not listen to music?
Why are you Chris Tucker?
Personally, I like Weird Al's version better, which is Trapped in the Drive-Thru, and it is beautiful. It's beautiful. I'll put a link to it. It's 11 minutes long.
Oh my god!
And it is worth your time. What are you talking? The R. Kelly version is like half an hour.
Really?
Yeah, it's so.
Oh, that's why I don't know.
So indulgent.
So I will admit this one thing, okay? When his Trapped in the Closet thing came out, it was being released, I think it's every week, and they were releasing like 3 minutes. It was broken up into 3-minute segments, songs.
Oh my god.
And I would be in the car, driving home or whatever, around that time every afternoon. Mm-hmm. And I would full on sit in the car, wait for it to play. I'd be like, oh my god, he's still in the closet! And then get out of the car. Okay? Like, it's a whole thing. Because it's a whole story. It's about him. He's having an affair with this woman. He gets in the closet, and the husband comes home, and all that kind of stuff. That's what it's about.
Oh.
Okay?
I think somebody should sing a bit.
I don't know the words off the top of my head. All I remember is the end of it is I'm trapped in the closet. I'm still in the closet. that would be the end of every episode.
Sounds like a Broadway musical.
It really was, actually. Like, you could see this on stage, man, for sure.
Oh, my God.
They'd have, like, the extreme lighting. Because, you know, like, the closets that have the slats on the top?
Yeah.
Have the extreme lighting, so it shows lines across his face as he's looking out or something. Oh,
I
amazing.
remember, like, when you say Trapped in the Closet, I know that you're talking about R. Kelly. I thought it was an album, wasn't it?
It was a full album.
Essentially an album.
Yeah, it was
then,
essentially an album. Yeah. Okay. That was released in pieces every week.
This is like pre-Kanye. Kanye.
Yeah.
Indulgence.
Oh, Kanye shows up on this. What?
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, but that's season 2. We'll get to it.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, that whole R. Kelly thing, that video he did, the song, everything. I'm gonna piss on you. It's so good.
It was the shit afterwards, and she's like rubbing it on her hair. I'm like, oh, I can't.
I'm sorry, it's doo-doo. It's doo-doo. Okay?
It is, sorry,
and they're
but I
dancing
had
with,
trouble.
like, the toilet seat and stuff. I'm laughing and, like, gagging at the same time.
I know. I'm good. Okay. When it came back the second time, I'm like, not again.
Well, they had to do the remix. What are you talking about?
Oh, jeez. Yeah, that was a good skit too from season 1. Was there anything else?
Well, just looking here at like the musical guests, the roster that he had. You know, at the end of all the episodes, he'd have, you know, a really kind of like.
That was mainly season 2, though. Season 1,
on
there
both.
was like 2.
No, it's both. Season 1 had.
You have Mos Def,
Mos Def,
Kweli,
yeah.
Busta Rhymes.
Wait, Busta Rhymes was in season 1?
Yeah.
Fat Joe, The Roots. You remember that? Wyclef.
Yeah.
I think
Wyclef was season 2.
He's in there.
And Questlove is in season 2 as well.
Yeah, he was in both seasons.
Really?
But anyways, I mean, just the lineup he got for these.
Yep.
For these seasons, is just that.
I literally have a note here that says Roots outtake. That was pretty funny. I don't even remember what it is.
Yeah, it's pretty stellar.
Yeah.
The people that he had, and obviously he had he loved his R&B, rap, hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
And he had that Block Party movie that came out 2005, which was it was shot before that before he decided to leave Chappelle Show and Comedy Central. But they released the film was after.
Well, yeah, because they're gonna ride on his coattails on that for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just saw it when you were talking. I saw that with the musical guest in season 2, it was Snoop Dogg as well as Tyrone. He had a credit in the musical guest.
Oh yeah, because he did. What is it? It's 187 on a motherfucking rock.
Yeah. Oh yeah. What I'm saying is, I think 5-0. I still say that. I still say that.
It's so.
No, the one joke that I love from this show is what did the 5 fingers say to the face?
So
we were just talking about that.
I mean, we can get into season 2.
Sure.
We've done it. Let's do it.
We've done it. So when we watched that, I forgot about the third part, like as in 3 parts.
There's segments, right?
And I forgot about the third part.
Yeah,
and
it's a whole episode.
My favorite part is what the 5 fingers say.
And also the fact that Rick James says cocaine is one hell of a drug so many times.
Now we were watching that, and I remember when I was first watching that thing, I'm like, okay, he said it once. I mean, which is funny enough, but it's like they copied that same line and they just played it like 2
No,
other
they
times.
didn't.
They
no,
didn't.
Because
No,
are you sure?
Because when he says it again, it's not like
okay.
it's just one cut out of him saying it.
It looks like it.
It says cocaine's one hell of a drug. Blah blah blah. I don't remember doing that. I don't understand.
Yeah,
and he's like, of course I did that. And you're like, what?
Yeah, I remember when we were younger too that they just kept. I thought that was what it was. They were just kept editing and adding it in. But no, he does just keep on saying it. And this is the guy who's saying he would never do that to the couch. And then he's like, yeah, I remember when it was in the same sentence.
And I love Chappelle's like reenactment of that scene. He's just there kicking the chest. Yes. Oh, it's so good.
Well, go ahead.
Well, it's so funny because it's like those skits. there's such random incidents, and kind of like you're reliving these memories from the 80s.
Yeah.
They're so random that you're like, this shit has got to be true.
Yes.
Because for a writer or a room of writers to come up with this, it's like, come on. Like, who's going to come up with this random shit? Right?
We still yell "fuck your couch" all the time.
I know. There's a lot of Chappelle isms that we still use in popular parlance.
If something's happening and the couch is messed up, we yell "fuck your couch." Darkness.
Oh my god.
Oh god, it's so good.
Charlie Murphy.
Charlie.
He's so good in those.
He's so good. Yeah.
Because there was the Rick James was the first, the True Hollywood Stories, and then they did Prince after.
Yeah.
But Charlie Murphy, he's. Yeah.
I forgot how he is super thuggish.
He's super hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't remember him being that thuggish throughout the whole thing. I was like, what? It's crazy.
Yeah. Charlie Murphy. And that oh no, never mind. Sorry, I'm thinking of the Puff Daddy one. Never mind. But what else was in that one that was really funny? When he punched him and he had Unity on his forehead.
Right. Well, and he showed the ring in the interview. In the real life, with the real life Rick James, he still had the Unity ring.
Unity right over here. Oh, it was so good. Unity. That whole skit from beginning to end just makes you laugh.
Oh yeah,
because it's about the portrayal, it's the costumes because of the time period. You know, Charlie Murphy with his Jerry curl going on. You're just like, oh my god, what is even happening at this point?
And the fact that Rick James was very much like, and when they were doing about the couch, they're like, why did you do that? He's like, because he could afford another one. It's like, well,
I guess so.
I guess he could. I don't know. You have your muddy boots all over your suede couch.
His beige suede couch. It was a lovely couch. Brand new.
Yeah.
Ruin his couch.
Yeah. Mike particularly, I guess because of the Filipino-ness, liked when he was doing his Chinese accent.
What? Don't put that shit on me.
You made me rewind it.
Oh. So Filipino-ness.
Don't put that shit on me. Well, if I say it's funny, it sounds terrible.
But I think it's the third segment with Charlie Murphy's True Hollywood Stories. Mm-hmm. And he comes into the bar and there's two women and he's getting them to. It's hard to talk about the show without being like offensive because the show's so offensive. That's the show, but anyways, he's getting them to flash their
he's
chest.
Like, show me your titties. There you go.
I know. I'm being very polite about it. But that's what he's doing, and then after he punches him, and then Charlie Murphy just gives him a good whap, and he's like, he starts crying. I think it's around that part, but he just. Actually, no, it's before that.
It's before, because they're
It actually doesn't matter. But he just starts, because I think they're in like a Chinese bar.
Yeah, at a Chinese restaurant.
And he just starts putting on like the most like offensive Chinese
I'm holding back
impression.
From doing it.
That's the thing. It's like, I can't really talk about it without being super racist.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
That's why I'm keeping that to myself.
But we had to rewind a couple times and just be like, oh my god.
Where did that come from?
This is Breakfast at Tiffany's all over again. Mickey Rooney.
Yeah.
Oh, movie I hate so much.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's like, when he does that thing, it's like, okay, he's being like super ridiculous and he's being a caricature of coked out Rick James, but it's kind of like, holy shit, like,
But I believe Rick
I feel
James
bad for
probably
laughing
did
at
that.
this.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if Rick James actually did that.
No.
Not at all.
No, he seems out of his mind.
Yeah. Because even then, when he's getting interviewed about it, he seems out of his mind already.
Oh my
and I was
God,
just
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
You're on something right now,
Yes.
aren't you?
Yeah,
You know?
that's somebody who's been on something for a very long time.
The 80s has lasted 30 years past.
It's true. But they say in the 80s, drugs were just everywhere. People just had them. They just kept taking them. And
Yeah.
yeah. So, especially the yuppies that ruined the financial system.
Yeah, that was interesting. I saw very briefly when they did the why do I keep forgetting his name? Tyrone? When they did the first Tyrone skit and they had like the credits, they did like a credit list at the end. They said like brought to you by Bush and Reagan or something like that. And I was like, oh shit.
Oh wait, and I noticed something too. It kept saying directed by who? Oh my God, I wonder if I took a note of that. Because those skits, it kept saying directed by someone. I was like, why is it directed by this person? What? Was this person really involved in this?
Yeah.
I can't remember who the name was.
It was kind of like, it was like a fake credit.
Yeah.
And
I thought it was so funny.
Brought to you by the Bush and Reagan administration. Which is, pretty much true.
Charlie Murphy did not show up until episode 6 of the show.
With The Real World.
Is that the real one? Yes, it would have been The Real World. That's true.
And he looks so much like Eddie Murphy that you just are like, whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true. Like, oh.
And I was reading that Dave Chappelle was super influenced by Eddie Murphy. So it's interesting that he had his brother on there.
On the show?
When he was a kid, right?
Yeah.
Also interesting that Dave Chappelle came from, like, for his subject matter and what he does and what he talks about. Again, this is a white person talking, so everyone just take a step back. But he came from 2 professors. His parents were professors, and I was surprised about that. Like, he just...
Pretty affluent kind of upbringing, right?
Yeah. So, and they divorced, but he seemed to come from, I don't know, like a...
Well, sometimes it's your friends. Sometimes it's... What do your parents, like... I didn't know this. Yeah. Like, what were his parents professors of? Like, I mean, were they literary people? Or, were they humorists? Were they African studies people? Like...
I can't remember if it wasn't anything like that. I mean, his dad was from Africa because he kept saying he wanted to go back. That's why he went there after he left the show, because his dad had passed and he wanted to be closer to him, and that's why he chose to go to Africa.
Okay.
But no, I don't know. I can't remember off the top of my head what they were professors of, but I was surprised to see that that's kind of the upbringing that he came from, because it seems like a very ordinary upbringing, basically. Yes. And I know a lot of people who are comedians come from a very broken upbringing, right? But that's not a race thing. That's anybody. That's right?
Anybody, yeah.
Anybody who's...
Oh, yeah.
But I find sorry, go ahead.
They use comedy as, like, it's therapeutic,
as their
right?
cut.
As talking, talking through their pain or whatever poor experiences they had growing up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, some comedians have normal upbringings, but they're broken people for whatever reason.
For whatever other reason.
And comedy's that same thing. They're just like, I get to be somebody else for half an hour, and that's what I prefer to do than being myself, kind of thing. Yeah. So. And
I was kind of watching the show because of watching him after. Like, I loved Chappelle's show. I can't stand his stand-up. I think he's very angry, like, especially now that watching the specials that we've seen since that have been on Netflix and stuff like that. Like, I can't watch it. Yeah. Like, he just seems very angry and dark and pissed off and grouchy, and I for probably a number of reasons, but he just seems completely different from what he was.
I find that he's not the only comedian that's doing that, right? Yeah. I find comedy specials recently, like, I try to watch them on Netflix as well, and I can't watch them because I expect to watch something, and sure, they're there to make you think and stuff, but I want to laugh at something. Yeah. But I end up sitting there for an hour getting yelled at, being told how horrible I am or how horrible our society is, and that everything's pointless and I'm going to die. Yeah. And you just want to yell about something.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this isn't comedy. Can I stop watching this now?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I haven't watched his most recent episode, but based on like stuff that I've seen about it, like I've seen like little commercials and stuff about it, I'm like, I don't want to watch that. That seems like it's going to be horrible.
You can speak to it more. You've seen it.
Yeah, I think I watched most of it. I don't know if I watched it in its entirety, but there's some extra offensive stuff. Like, I feel like in Chappelle's show, there's definitely some stuff where you're like, I'm laughing, but I feel awful for laughing.
Mm-hmm.
And with the, I think it's called Sticks and Stones, the latest special. And there's lots of parts where it's like, I'm not even laughing. I'm just like, my jaw's open, being like, oh my God, we're going there. Yeah. So there's a bit about Michael Jackson and just how his I guess memory and everything has just been like dragged in the gutter because of, there's even more recent claims of new, they're adults now, but they were children, being molested by Michael Jackson. And there's, some of his jokes were about, he doesn't believe the accusers. And then he spins it to be like, okay, if I was one of those kids, and I had been molested by Michael Jackson, I'd be pretty excited and proud of myself for it. Oh. And I'm just like, man. Like, it's like too far.
It's too far.
It's very, it's like when you make fun of things, like rape, pedophilia, I feel like it's, you're... Like... Okay. I don't know how funny those subject matters are, right? It can be
funny. Like look at, we laughed our asses off at that Tracy Morgan stand-up when he was talking about serial killers and stuff like that. It can be funny.
But it's how you approach it. It's how you word it. It's like with anything. It's not what you say. It's how you say it. Yeah. And humor can be found in the darkest of places. We know this. Yeah. But if you're out there saying, "Hey, I would be proud if I got raped by a rich man," and I should be proud of that. That's just disgusting.
It's also tone, because again, like I was saying before, he comes across as grouchy and bitter and angry. So he just comes across in a way that it's not even, even just the way he said it would have probably been better. Like if he had just said the joke in a different tone or a different way, it might have actually worked. But wasn't he the one that said something about Macaulay Culkin?
Well, that's
Jesus.
Well, I mean, tell you the truth, he brings it up in the show, because there's the episode where they're talking about if he was like on jury duty for trials against black people or whatever, and he's like, I won't believe them because black people got to be with black people. And one of the things was he did O.J. Simpson, Michael Jackson. Who's the third one? There was a third black guy in there. Anyways, and like he was saying, he's like, no, you need to prove to me that, it's not up to me to believe you. It's up to you to prove to me that he's done something wrong. Yeah. And then he's like, well, would you put your kids in a bed with Michael Jackson? He's like, hell no. Yeah. And like, I mean, the way it's brought across in the comedy special is not in a malicious way. It's in an honest way. So it's funny. But what you're telling me about this new stand-up, which is it's the exact same subject matter, seems so much worse and so gross that you're just like, that's disgusting.
Yeah, and I think like it's like part of his shtick, like, and you'll see it a bit in the stand-up bits in the Chappelle show, and in some of his stand-up, that he'll say something so obviously offensive that you'll see he'll step back a bit. Like physically, he'll take a step back. And you see him. He grins to himself, and sometimes he'll turn around, right? Because he's just like, oh shit.
He's ready for repercussions.
Well, I think he's also like, oh shit, I just said that, and when he takes a step back, I kind of read in a bit of his kind of like, just his physical language is like, he doesn't actually mean it. He's surprised that he even went there with it. And I didn't see too much of that in the latest special. That's what it just made me go, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how funny that is.
Again, it's tone.
But again, I don't know. Maybe we're being grown adults, mature adults now.
No.
But
because we watched the same. We watched Chappelle show and we laughed our asses off at it, and now we watch his stand up and we go, "What happened?
Yeah.
Why are you so angry?" Yeah. Well, we know why he's angry, but like you, yeah.
Well, and that's the thing too, and I find especially now, like people, you know, yes, the PC police are out there, fine, they can go fuck themselves. I don't like them either. But people still have to realize there are lines that you shouldn't cross, or if you cross that line, be real good at what you're doing to cross that line, right? Yeah. And there's a lot of comedians there's like, no, I'm here to push boundaries. I'm here to do this. I'm here to do whatever. So if you get offended, go fuck yourself. I'm like, well, then be prepared for a backlash.
Yeah, be prepared to lose sponsorships. Be prepared to lose audiences. Yeah, be prepared for all those things. Yeah. And
like, if you're going to be out there, just know that there's consequences for your actions.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying, you know, I'm not saying people should get hurt or attacked or whatever, but if people start turning their back on you, there's a reason why.
That's the reason why, yeah.
That's the reason why.
And so we should probably talk about the clear homophobia, because there is homophobia running rampant.
Through the whole thing.
And now, still.
Yes.
It's still a problem with his stand-up. Mm-hmm. And it's not the first, like, he's talking about icons and people he looked up to. Obviously, Eddie Murphy, maybe, like, with his awfulness in terms of, what's the Eddie Murphy?
I think it's Delirious is
one of
my famous specials there.
Yeah. Where he's, like, super homophobic. Like, there's... Yeah. It's a problem. And, you know, Kevin Hart has had issues with it. Like, there's been a lot of people who seem to be having issues with LGBTQ and in comedy, and then there's other comedians who won't touch it, so they won't bring it up at all.
I think the thing is, like we were talking before, people are looking for areas to push boundaries, but they're also looking for quote unquote easy targets, and they're like, you can't make fun of people's color anymore. I guess sexuality is what it's going to be. And I understand, like in the 80s and the 70s there was less of an understanding, and societally it was more accepted to make fun of that segment, but it was also acceptable to make fun of black people. It's acceptable to make fun of women. And we've gotten past that kind of thing. But now they're just out there looking for the new horizon of where the funny is, you know?
Yeah, so, because now it seems to have gone from even just people who are gay to trans. Trans is getting hit all over the place by people who are comedians. So it seems to be coming from, and not just African Americans, white people, anyone. It's trans. Like that's like almost like the hot topic,
or like drag queens and stuff too.
To talk about and to joke about and say like they think it's wrong. So
because I think too it's because like with being gay, it took a while for it to integrate into the culture, like pop culture especially permeates into people's regular lives, to the regular culture, quote unquote, right? And once they finally like quote unquote normalized being gay, it was always normal. Get over it, people. They're now, there's a popularity to have to have like trans people or drag queens and stuff on shows. I mean, look at shows like Drag Race. Look at, you know, and it's a thing that's out there. Look at like Queer Eye and stuff where, you know, they do that kind of stuff. And you're like, okay, so now this is the area that we have to attack? Yeah. No, it's not. No. It's not. They're not coming for your children. They're not going to touch you in bathrooms. Get over yourself. Yeah. They're just people. Yeah. You know? Yeah. So, and I always think it's really funny that people are just like, oh, you know, they're deviants and they're evil people. I'm like, the people who are the highest offenders in North America are older white men. Yeah. Right? Yeah. And you're just like, so why aren't you afraid to be outside with Doug? Yeah. But, you know, Shaquan. Yeah. Is an issue. You're like, fuck off, dude. Yeah. Like, whatever.
And that's why they have like at the libraries and stuff, when they have the drag queens doing story time with the kids to show like it's not anything they're not unsafe around your children, right? So, and that you're right. No one thinks about that. No one thinks.
I don't understand why people think a drag queen is unsafe anyway. It doesn't make any sense to me.
I have no idea. Yeah. I really don't. So, so that was something that again was coming up, and like what Mike was saying before about when they were doing the Rick James skit and he was in the Chinese restaurant, whatever. Yeah. That felt satirical, right? That felt over the top. That felt whatever. But the stuff with the homophobia, that is not. And
his obsession with the lesbians.
Yes.
Yes. There's that as well. But can I just admit one little thing? So, episode 12 of season 2, it's the one where he's doing like the outtakes, the stuff they didn't previously show.
Yeah.
And there was the one where like American society was broken into two, like gay society and straight society.
Yeah.
And there was like, what is it? Gay lawnmowers or whatever. And it's just like the guy with the lawnmower dancing. I'm sorry, I still laugh at it. It's still really funny to me.
Yeah. No, I mean, some of the stuff is, right? But it is like, you're laughing, you're like, whoa.
Yeah. Should I be laughing at this? I'm like, why am I laughing at this? I'm still laughing at this. Oh my God.
It's going to happen.
Yes.
Oh, God. Yeah.
And
on a lighter note,
I know we're talking about comedy.
He does a great Little John.
Oh God!
What?
Doesn't get hold.
No, I can't do it. I can't do it.
Yeah. I gotta get some impressions in
That's
there.
years of practice.
I can't do it. It's fine.
But holy shit!
Yeah, that was so good.
It's so good.
I love the part where he's trying to board a flight or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
And he's moving his hair.
What? Like, have a good flight.
What?
Have a good flight. What? Yeah. Sorry, please ignore me. I'm really bad at things. It's fine.
And then there's the one skit. I don't know if it's Barbara Walters or it's supposed to be a Barbara Walters interviewer, where he just comes out with like his very upper class accent that comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I just like it when it's Little John and Little John talking to each other. It's great. I loved it.
He's not British, is he?
No.
John? No. It's like, why did they give him a British accent?
I think he's from Atlanta.
Well, because that's the upper crust, it's pinky in the air. Yes, blah, blah, blah,
I was like, maybe he is British.
British people do a very good American accent, I've noticed.
They do.
Yeah. Like half of American television is British people pretending to be American.
Yeah.
But if you get an American to do a British accent, you're just like, get out. What are you doing? This is nonsense. I don't know. It's all horrible.
Christian Bale's the best because he was in so many movies where he had a British accent and I didn't know or an American accent and I didn't know he was
You hear him talk in interviews and you're like,
you'd be like, wait, what? Yeah.
You're like, is he making fun of people? What is he doing? That's what he really sounds like. Excuse me?
Yeah.
It's like James McAvoy is the same way, but he's not British. He's
Scottish,
right?
Scottish or Irish, yeah.
First time I heard him with his regular voice, I was like, I'm sorry.
What's happening right here?
What is going on? I don't understand. What's happening? And it was weird. Because I think the first thing I remember seeing him in was, I think it was Chronicles of Narnia.
Yeah.
And he does do like a kind of Britishy accent, but like a tone down. And I was like...
I feel like he's
Scottish.
He
is. Okay, that's right.
And so when I saw that the first time, I'm like, oh, it's an American doing a British accent. Ugh.
Yeah.
And then I saw him in like Wanted or something, and I was like, oh, see, there he is. He's fucking American, whatever. And then I saw him in an interview, and I was just like,
what?
What?
Yeah. There's a few that are like that, but Christian Bale's always the one that takes the cake for me. Because I'm just like, he's never British. The British people don't want to cast him in anything. They're like, they're so crazy.
Actually, no, one of the ones that shocked me was half the cast of Walking Dead was British when the show first started.
Yes.
And
oh my God,
they were doing like interview rounds and stuff, and everybody was British. I was like, what is
going on here?
What is going on?
I think it's a co-pro. I think it must be because there was a lot of Brits in there.
There was,
I think it must be something it was with Sky or somewhere. ITV. Something.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
But...
Well, Rick I knew because I knew him from Love Actually.
Oh, see, I didn't even connect.
I was like, oh, it's the guy from Love Actually.
Rick.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Yes. I don't even want. Where were we? Rick.
Little John.
Little John.
No, we love. Les and I are big fans of the Sesame Street.
Oh, that's the
parody.
High Park.
Knee-High Park.
Knee-High Park. Yeah.
Do you remember that, Tracy?
Knee-High Park?
It's,
oh, yeah. No, I actually watched that episode, and I was trying to figure out, like, first of all, whose parents let them be there that day?
That's right. I know, even though this is for laughs.
Game. And then the thing is, though, if you
I was thinking that, too.
If you realize...
I still don't care about those kids' well-being, because it's so funny.
It's too funny. But the thing is when the puppets talk, you realize... it would cut to just the puppet, so I have a feeling they had the kids there and they did some stuff with the silent puppet.
Yeah.
Oh, and then they did like the voices and stuff, because I was like, you can't say crack and have the N-word and fuck and all this kind of nonsense.
When he pulls down his pants and the
That's
kid
right.
throws up.
How dango? Or it's like, how did you get that? From fucking. I like the outtakes at the end of that with Stoop.
Yeah, and he
there's
can't help
Snoop
but laugh.
with just like reading the script and he's doing delivery and he's just losing his shit over like, oh my god, are you serious? Like, you really want me to say this stuff?
Everything in that skit is the best. We must have watched that. Oh, we watched that.
I could watch that like
dozens of
over
times.
and
That
over.
one, yeah.
But you have Stinky, the who's supposed to be Oscar the Grouch. That's Charlie Murphy.
And he had the syringe sticking out of his head the whole time.
Oh, that's what picture I'm looking at right now.
Yeah. Oh,
and they're asking how he is. Well, apart from having a syringe lodged in my fucking head. Okay.
Oh,
God.
And we love the venereal disease.
Yeah, the crabs.
Well, the crabs and
gonorrhea.
Yeah.
And the clap.
Holy shit.
CNL, motherfuckers.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah, that's a good skit. And that was also the same one as that was the same episode as the Puff Daddy and the Dude's Night Out. It was all
the Dude's Night Out was
episode.
So good. Yeah.
Oh, Dude's Night Out. Yeah, that might be one of the strongest episodes.
Yeah.
Well, next to Charlie Murphy's True Hollywood Stories.
Yeah, but that one's a good one. Breast milk.
That's right. You make my day.
It's 100% Cambodian. Oh, Jesus.
Oh, so good. So good.
See, it's hard to dislike Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Like, I mean, the shit was offensive, but it was gold. Like, most of it was gold, I'll say.
I know.
But, I don't know. But second season, he definitely had a lot more famous friends.
Yeah.
Yes. More people came out and was like, yeah, I'll be on your show. Let's do this.
Yeah.
Let's do a thing.
Wayne Brady.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's a great.
Well, that episode shocked me as well, because that's just a precursor to what happened, right after the end of the season.
Yeah.
That he
quit. It starts out with him talking to fake execs going, I'm tired of doing this. I don't want to work 40 hours a week, blah, blah, 80 hours a week,
It's the second last episode in season 2.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm tired. I don't want to do this anymore.
I know.
We'll replace you. Okay. They got Wayne Brady on. You're like, oh my god.
Yeah. No, we were thinking that when we were watching it. We were like, did Wayne Brady actually replace him? Is that something that's happened? And then he just didn't finish the season.
What's so funny is that when Wayne Brady comes out, because they come out and then they show the crowd a little bit. Wayne Brady comes out, they show the crowd, and everybody's like, yeah, what is this? They're all
impressed.
They're not impressed. They're like, I came here for Dave Chappelle.
Yeah.
Where the fuck is Dave Chappelle?
Yeah.
And Wayne Brady's all standing there like, hi, nice to be here.
And Wayne Brady's like complete different humor, complete different audience, which is why it was so funny, that skit, right?
Yeah, brilliant.
But I love the 2 months ago. Is Wayne Brady gonna have to smack? It's fine. It's like that whole thing is still funny though.
Run, bitch, run!
I really felt like I should be more offended by all of it, but I was like, no.
No, it's so good because,
Love it.
going with the whole Wayne Brady being, like, fans of the, like, the cop is like, my mother-in-law lives here.
He gets the microphone, he gets the
He's just
spotlight, starts
singing.
singing, you know. You're like, what is even going on? Break a neck, let's go.
Oh, yeah, that's what he did. He broke the neck. I knew he killed the officer. I just couldn't remember how.
Yeah. That's so funny. They had a whole episode where they did a segment on I Know Black People. And I gotta say, apparently I don't know black people. If the audience doesn't remember, I'm a black person. So I was lost. They had a lot of questions about, what was it? Good Times, I think it was. They had questions on.
Oh, yeah.
And stuff.
Yep.
And I was like, I don't know
know
answer
Good
these
Times?
questions. Am I a horrible black person? Is that what's happening right now?
Yeah.
You're black, Tracy?
Look, I didn't go out in the sun today, okay? Leave me alone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, that was a good, with the game show. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember now.
But man, that made me really laugh though. I did laugh at that one. That was awesome.
Is Good Times, Janet Jackson?
No.
No. When she was little?
She was on, the other one with the fat girl.
I don't know what that is. I am not going to say
I
it.
will not know what that is.
Oh my god, what is it called?
Look it up.
It's gonna make me angry that I don't remember what it is. But actually, it was not a show I watched either, growing up.
No, she was on Good Times.
Was it Good Times? I thought it was the other one. With the...
It says Penny assaulted on Good Times.
Oh, lovely.
That was one of the...
And she was on an episode of
captions.
Fame as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
But remember that show that has like the three girls in the house with like the mom or whatever, and they're growing up. They're like,
Oh, yeah.
she was on that one.
She might have been on more than one.
Maybe, yeah.
80s? 70s?
That one would have been the 80s.
Yeah, no, I'm just seeing Good Times.
Maybe I got it
And
wrong.
Fame. I want to live forever.
I wanna live through the sky.
Different Strokes.
Different Strokes. No.
That was it.
Wait,
No?
yes. Was it? Yeah,
No.
Different Strokes, yes.
Yeah.
You take the good... No, Facts of Life.
Facts of Life, yes.
Yeah.
Was she on that? I don't
Was it
think
Facts
so.
of Life?
But Facts of Life is what you're thinking about. Different Strokes is, what's his name? The little one.
Webster?
Yeah. The
Good
little one.
Times, Different Strokes.
Oh,
she was
man.
on Different
It was
Strokes.
Different Strokes. That is the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Offending everybody today.
All of the
The
people.
little one.
Look, this is the show we're talking about. If we're going to offend people, we're going to offend people. Just be done with it.
That's why you don't invite white people to the show.
They had, I'm trying to think if he did anything with somebody, but yes, he did. He had like the transcribers. And he
Oh
had
my
the
god, did the
midget
Travels
on.
transcriber turn around? I was like, that already exists. It's called a tape recorder, right? I mean, I know it was the early 2000s, but that was already a thing.
Tape recorder. Yeah, Zach Morris
back.
had one, so must have.
Boom! Zach Morris had a cell phone, goddammit.
It was like a brick.
He got cancer, like, he died at an early age.
Sure he did.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
We're offending all the people.
Yep.
Talking about him, Ryan Paul Gosselaar, is that his name?
Mark Paul Goss.
Mark Paul Gosselaar. He's on the new Mixed-ish show.
I know.
I didn't
don't
realize
like it. I don't like it. Mixed-ish. I watched one episode. I'm like, I can't do this. I don't know why.
I watched this week's episode as well, and I was like, I don't understand what your point of this episode actually is.
Yeah.
It didn't really. I know you're trying to make a point, but I don't know what it is. And it seems weird.
Yeah.
You know?
I think it's like the whole concept of blackish and that they're rich, and they're in kind of a white area, so they're blackish and all that whole concept of that show. It worked for longevity, but the mixed-ish doesn't work. Like we were on
I actually think it has more to do with the format of it, because blackish and grownish, it's just a half-hour regular thing people living their lives and stuff, right?
Yeah.
But the problem with Mixed-ish, I think...
There's a grown-ish show?
Oh, yeah, that's been around forever. No, not
For,
forever.
like,
There's multiple
40 years.
spin-offs?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So, because the oldest daughter went to college and it follows her.
But it's like on Freeform or something like that.
Something
like it's
like that.
from
It's a different
ABC
station.
Spark or it's more like a tween, not a tween, but kind of like a family.
It's not
the
overly
same
family.
audience.
It's not the same audience, definitely
as
not.
Black-ish.
No.
Because
it's all about like early, like a 19-year-old to 20-year-old making friends at university and, you know, being cool and how hard her life is.
Oh,
Yeah. So it's not. It's not. So it's not for like
Life's
adults,
so hard.
you know.
Yeah.
But like the I think the biggest problem with Mixed-ish is the voiceover.
Yeah.
You know, because there's too much her interjecting and trying to explain everything. Where I'm like, if you're telling a story, like especially in a visual format, just show the story. You shouldn't have to explain everything.
Yeah.
Like we get it. It was the 80s. You don't have to say again. It was the 80s. Like that's
we
literally
looked
what she said.
because it was the 80s. In case you forgot.
Yeah. Because even like with what is it? The Goldbergs.
Yeah.
He does voiceover. He does voiceover at the beginning and the end of the episode. He's not in the middle of the episode.
No,
all the
not
time.
really. Unless it's a really big moment. No, not that often.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Where Rainbow talked through the whole episode I watched.
Yeah.
And I was like, you're not presenting your story well enough if this is your way of getting through your stories.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, it fell flat for me too.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to give it maybe 2 more episodes, but.
Oh. Yeah. You're doing better than I did. I watched half of one. I'm like, this is terrible.
I watched a whole episode while I was making soup. It was fine.
Yeehaw.
Giddy up? Like, I don't know what am I supposed to say after that? Also, I like their interpretation of what if the internet was a real place.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that was great.
Yeah, that was a good one, too.
Lots of porn. Ron Jeremy shows up. I'm like, I'm so happy you said no to seeing him have sex. Thank you very much.
Oh, Ron Jeremy.
Disgusting. My favorite part was like, he's walking away. He's like, I'm done. He's walking away. He's like, do you want to see a woman have sex with ghosts? He's like, no, that's disgusting. And the woman walks up with the goats and he's like, okay, just give me a minute. Let's give me a minute. It's so wrong. Also, Rashida Jones shows up in both seasons of the show.
What?
Do I see? I don't remember seeing her.
In the fourth episode of the second season, she's the girl in the love contract episode, the skit.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
We might have flipped that one.
Because we're going through it. I don't remember.
But wait, that's the episode with the Rick James Hollywood story.
Well, we just got right to that.
Yeah.
You're like, screw this. Let's do this.
You love contract.
Oh, we didn't talk about the Prince one.
Yeah.
He made pancakes at the end.
There's also another skit. We'll go through the Prince, but there's one more that we have to talk about.
Okay. But
Prince it up.
The Prince one is great. I love how weird Prince's one is. And I believe all of it.
Well, they said I was reading on the internet, because everything on the internet's true.
Okay, just hold on.
The Prince confirmed.
Hold on. I just want to say one thing. I just find it weird when people just say internet all the time because it makes me feel like it's like 1994 when people are like, what's the internet? The internet is. And they did that a lot in this show. They're like, we're going to go on the internet. The internet. It's the internet. I went on the internet yesterday. I'm
That's
like, you
why
are
I did
aging your show.
That's why I did it.
Yeah, and Michael say interweb sometimes just to be even cooler.
We're going to surf the interwebs? I
know
know why you married him.
That's a panty dropper right there.
Hold on, let me get some tissues for you.
Oh my god.
We're appropriate. But yes, Prince. That was great.
Well, he confirmed that the story they were telling. I mean, obvious exception of embellishments, but that it was true. That them playing a pickup game of basketball and all the other antics. But, yeah.
Of course.
And him winning.
It is based on.
I really hope he kicked
shirts.
their ass in that ruffle shirt, man. That would have been amazing. And I love the shoes that Chappelle's wearing too.
Yeah.
They're like a foot off the ground.
Because he did. He was so small. He was so tiny.
Wasn't he like 5'1" or something
yeah,
like that?
yeah. He was really tiny. Yeah.
And in the end there, like, because he started having a big fro, I swear that added like 6 inches.
Yeah.
It's great.
And then he was still only like 5'5".
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. It just wasn't as good as Rick James, right? Like, it just wasn't the
I
same.
don't know. I thought it was still funny.
Yeah.
But it also made me really depressed because it's like, oh, all those people are dead.
Yeah.
That's all I
I
kept
know.
thinking. I was
Prince.
like, oh my god.
Charlie Murphy.
Prince,
Rick
and
James
Rick James
is dead?
Yeah, they're all dead.
Yeah.
It's like,
Sad.
Oh, yeah, Rick James. I felt like he was dying on that episode. I feel like, yeah,
Quite possibly.
that's an obvious.
he lived for 10 more years after that. That's fine.
That seems like you're on borrowed time at this point.
he's what, Keith Richards or whatever?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't understand how that man is still alive. He's like, his body's like preserved from all the drugs or something.
It's like pickled.
It's
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. But yeah, you said you had one more you want to talk about?
Yeah.
Which one?
The Samuel Jackson beer.
Oh, now that's my favorite. I know I've said it like 6 times of what my favorites are. That one might be my favorite.
I like he's like, why are you yelling at me? Haven't you seen me in my movies?
This way I talk.
No, it's the reference to a freaking Time to Kill. Who makes a reference to a Time to Kill? Yes, they deserve to die. I hope they burn in hell.
The funny thing is, I was sitting there, I'm like, I know what movie that is. What movie is that? I
It's
couldn't
Time to
remember.
Kill. Oh, man.
That's hilarious.
I was dying the first time I saw that. Because I'm like, I'd never seen anyone make a reference to that.
Time to kill.
Yeah.
It was like on SNL when the, what's his name, did a impression of Denzel. Like, no one had ever done a decent Denzel impression.
Him, Jay Farrow.
Yeah.
He does such good impressions.
But when it was a Denzel, I'm like, who does a Denzel impression?
But the thing
is, so good.
He did it so good, though.
Oh my
God. It was perfect. Hit that one and his Jay-Z impression. Fucking kill every time.
Brooklyn.
The worst part, he looks nothing like any of these people.
No.
But you're like, go ahead, you do that impression. I understand it.
And the Kanye one with the Christmas album. Hey, little baby. Or what is it? You know it better than I do. Little Jesus.
Oh, God.
Hey, little Jesus. You're just a baby. You drive a donkey. I drive Mercedes.
Jesus, I'm so much better than you.
Kanye.
Oh, jeez. Oh my god. The funny thing is when he showed up in the show, I forgot. Like, there was a beginning of his career in front of the microphone, let's say. Because he had been producing and making beats and stuff for people for years before he like came out with his own album and stuff.
Yeah.
But like he seemed so humble.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, and he's like, I don't mind. I'm like I'm not the important one here. Common's the important one, or Mos Def was the important one.
Yeah.
And boy, did that ever change.
And you were just like, oh my god, like,
what
it was
happened?
so weird.
Yeah.
And now I swear to God, if he ever goes on a show like that, he would just push people out. He's like, you want me to do something with somebody else?
Yeah.
Like,
how
that
dare
would
you?
not be a. That would not be a thing at all.
Yeah, he hasn't been able to collaborate with anybody as a result of that.
Yeah.
Because,
But he hasn't put out anything good in years.
I know.
Because even his last album, he said, I don't know, I just did whatever. People are just going to buy whatever it is because it's Kanye. And I was like, I'm not buying it.
Ain't nobody buying that shit.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, oh, gotta be kidding.
Yeah, there hasn't been a lot of decent albums from him in a while. Maybe you get the odd song, but not a whole
But what
album.
has he put out in the last little while? It's been a while,
The
though, right?
McLovin one. The one that you always sing.
What?
Kanye song.
Is he loving it? Like, what?
McLovin. That song. What's the song that they sing where they bring up McLovin? I forget what that was. Somewhat of a hit.
Wait, I'm sorry. He has a song where he brings up McLovin?
Yeah.
Well, he performed it on. It was with Is it Lil Jeezy or something? I'll have to look it up.
Oh, yeah. There's so many Lils out there.
But he had that...
and ASAPs.
Was it that famous song? It was the video was all them lying in the bed with the celebrity lookalikes.
That one. I'm sorry, that was still. I do love that one.
I don't even know
the one where, with the Taylor Swift reference, then that thing exploded again.
From Life of Pablo.
Yep.
2016.
Yeah. I don't think I've heard it, and I'm okay with that. Go ahead. Do you want me to drop a beat for you? Boom cheek, boom boom cheek. No.
You've heard that. Everybody's heard that.
It's really good.
Yeah, I made that bitch famous.
Okay, actually, now that you said that, yes, I do know that one.
You're welcome.
But I don't think I've listened to a whole album of his since the really long titled one.
My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, because that's one of my favorite albums of all time.
I think that's his best.
I know
his
you
best
liked.
album.
We talked about this last time.
Oh, did
I
we?
was on your podcast. It always comes back to Kanye, and then we'll just have to start talking about Django again and white cake.
Oh, there's another person that should have been the show. Jamie Foxx did.
Oh, yeah. And that's, Jamie Foxx was in Living Color too, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I love In Living Color.
Because you can do.
Is that on your shelf? In Living Color?
It is not, actually.
It isn't?
No. Your shelf is stupid.
Get out.
This interview's done.
Just get up and storm out of here. Flip over a table.
Oh, God.
The one thing within Living Color, they did push the envelope. There was the Damon Wayans, not Homely the Clown. It was Handyman. Do you remember those skits?
Handyman.
Handyman.
He was like wheelchair bound. Character.
And he was the superhero. Yes.
Oh, I remember that was that was super.
I'm sorry.
bad.
I'm thinking about it and I'm laughing already. I'm a horrible person.
That's not.
You're not.
I'm thinking of what's his name, Jim Carrey, when he kept electrocuting himself.
No. Fire Marshal Bill set himself on fire all the time. There's a difference.
Here, I'll pull him up. But he was like a Superman type character, but it was.
But he also had a problem all the time because when his symbol came up, there was always somebody in the handicap stall in the bathroom, so he couldn't get in
There.
to get changed. Oh my god!
There, look.
Oh my god, that's amazing. Oh, that's really bad.
Yeah, I remember him. I'm not doing the voice either.
That's early 90s. No, you get shot.
Yeah. And who was the other? What was the guys on film or whatever?
Yeah.
Their
That was
opening
Damon Wayans
theme?
and David Allen Greer.
That was, it was so fun. And I love on the last episode of the show, or was the last episode Damon Wayans was on or something like that, one of them got hit in the head and he became quote unquote straight and got angry and stormed off.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Like up until that last episode, it was just funny.
Yeah.
And then that part, you're just like, okay, now you're just offensive.
Yeah, now you're just, pushing that envelope.
It's, what is it, Around the World and Back Snap? Love that.
Something like that, yeah.
Love that. And their theme song was It's Raining Men.
That's everyone's theme song.
Hallelujah. Yes.
Hallelujah.
Yeah. All right, well... So anything
I don't
else?
know. Did we miss anything?
No.
Do we still
Sam
like Dave
Jackson?
Do we like Dave Chappelle still?
We like Chappelle. I'll tell you what we like, Mike. No, I like Chappelle's show still, but I remember it. And then I sound like I want them to be stuck in a box. So I don't know how to frame it where it sounds like I'm not being a dick and like I don't like change or
okay, so
evolution.
what you're saying is you want him to evolve, but not into the dickish form he's evolved into.
It reminded me, I kept thinking of Rosie O'Donnell. Remember when Rosie O'Donnell had the Rosie O'Donnell show and she was fun and she was
and she did the Flintstones?
She did the Flintstones and she was whatever. And then she became this political, over-the-top kind of nightmare.
Yeah.
And it reminded me of that. Like, it just reminded me of, he was like, this was him over here. He went to Africa. He came back just angry and hating the world and offensive and like something, I don't know. It was just, and I think...
Like, I think the reason why he went to Africa was because he was angry. I don't think it's because he went there or he got angry.
No, it just was a full switch when he came back for me. Like,
or maybe maybe it just gave him a different viewpoint on things. He's like, maybe this stuff isn't that funny.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. Like, I wish people could evolve without, you know, being so mad all the time. But people get jaded. They do. And especially in entertainment where you're under scrutiny constantly and people are pecking at you, wanting things from you or telling you what to do, and you're just like, fuck off, now I'm angry.
But, and I also don't necessarily blame him, because it was kind of when he did that interview with Oprah, when he was talking about why he left and everything, he was saying, like, he'd try and go and do stand-up and people would be yelling, I'm Rick James, bitch, and they'd freak out if he didn't do that impression. And he was stuck, you know, in that sort of box. He's been in that box.
Yeah, but my thing is, like, what kind of asshole audiences are doing that? Like,
at comedy houses, they're so much worse than other places, right?
I guess.
But then again, it's kind of like with singers. Right? Like, some singers are like, you know, screw you, I'll never do that song again.
Cisco better sing the thong song one more time, or else I'm going to be real angry about it.
Exactly. But then you get, what's his name? Chris Martin. What band is he in? Coldplay, who I remember them saying not too long ago in an interview, you know, Yellow was one of our most famous songs, and everybody wants to hear it. And even though we're sick to death of playing it, people have come out, they've come and they like us, they follow us, they've given us money. And if they want to hear Yellow, we'll play Yellow every time until we're done our career. So it's kind of like, I don't know. I don't know where that line is.
But I think musicians and comics are two different things. Like, I understand it, but those are two very different things. Like, being a musician, you have a discography, and people go to your concerts to hear your discography.
The same discography.
But people don't go to a comedy show to hear the same thing over and over again.
No,
so
that's
if you have people saying, just do this one joke all the time, that doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, eventually it's not going to be funny anymore, right?
That's true,
like, it's like, how many times can you do it? But that was a big problem. He was just kind of stuck.
Think of what's his name, Jolly White,
Jill White,
who was Steve Urkel.
Oh yes,
for him to try to get a career after Family Matters, it's like
so many people.
Hard. Good luck.
Yeah.
Because people just want you to pull up your pants up to your chest.
But people get around that. I mean, look at Mark Hamill. Earlier in his career, he was, you know, Luke Skywalker. That's what he did.
Yeah.
And he couldn't get a lot of jobs doing anything else. But guess what? He switched into voice acting. And so did Jaleel White. Blah, blah, blah.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he's done some voice acting, but not an excessive amount. He's not like Phil Lamar or anything. Yeah. But like, he did some of it. But it's true. Like, he just kind of fell out because he's like, I don't want to be Urkel anymore. No. And I totally get it.
Yeah.
But, like...
Did he want to be Stefan?
Stefan Urkel. Mm-hmm.
Damn it, he was hot.
Take me to Disney World to marry me. Mm-hmm. That's right. References. Yes.
Laura.
So, just so you know, at work here, we have a new assistant, and I said we were doing Chappelle show today, and she's like, I don't know what that is. And I wanted to cry.
Did you cry a little bit?
Yeah.
That's like when I was talking to, I think it was Emily, and she didn't know who Rick the Temp was.
Rick Campanelli?
But she didn't know who it was. Why would she?
Yeah, he's always been Rick the Temp to me, even when he went to like E.T. Canada and stuff. I'm like, it's Rick the Temp. That was it, you know?
And she had no idea what I was talking about.
It's so sad. Yeah. I mean, I know she's 20, and it was like she was like 4 years old when the show was on, fine. But I was like, you need to know your culture. This is ridiculous.
Well, have you never seen people in their 20s and 30s yelling, I'm Rick James, bitch, at any time, and wonder why are they doing that?
That's where it's from, guys. That's where it's from. But one thing I like about her, though, is like she's totally down with like, just tell me stuff, I'll watch it. That's great. Yeah. But the worst is when you get people who just like, I don't know what that is. That was before I was born. Why would I look at that? I'm like, you're an ass.
Yeah.
You're
Star Wars was made before I was born.
Yeah. Oh yes, and we know you've seen that a time or two.
He's seen it twice, guys. That's it. I swear. Oh, jeez.
Starts crying.
He's like, no, you're my hero.
I'll love you forever.
The 90s ones were your favorites, weren't they? The prequels? Mm-hmm.
Yes, episode 1.
Oh, he just
Jake
broke.
Lloyd.
He just broke saying that. Oh my god.
Yeah, episode 1. Oh, Jesus. Oh, we forgot to... Oh, sorry, going back to Dave Chappelle, we forgot about that one. I'm not saying it.
The N-word family.
Oh my god, yes, we forgot to talk about that.
But I even think, like, beyond that skit,
Yeah.
just the excessive use of the N-word in, like, all the series.
No, it's very true. Like, 'cause
Like-
we were having a mini discussion before we started recording, saying, like, we can't say this word. This
Well,
is
white
this
girl's
is
definitely not going to say
not
it.
a word to say, but you can't really
burn in
discuss half of the episodes without the N-word because that was what it was about.
Yeah.
You know, and you're just like, this is so wrong. But also, I laughed really hard at that one.
Oh my God.
I know.
When
I
he
laughed
was
so
like,
hard.
don't get between the N-word and his pork.
Oh, gosh.
Jesus. You're just like, holy hell.
Oh, yeah, it was quite well done. Or like when the son goes out to dinner with his girlfriend and the maitre d' calls out his name, the black people come up and they're like, I expect this somewhere else. But it's like, no, the family. Oh, yes, this gentleman. I'm like, oh, it's so wrong. It's so wrong.
Oh, God.
But it is so funny. I will tell you that right now.
It really is.
And they say the N-word probably 50 times in those like 3 minutes or whatever.
Yeah,
like, it's ridiculous.
I thought Bigsby was bad, but that one's probably the worst, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I can't believe we forgot about that one.
That one's a good one. Yeah, that was one of our favorites, too.
Oh, and there was also the player haters ball, which I thought was really funny.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't like that one.
I didn't
But that had the robot again.
I think that's the only... That's the only saving grace.
I gotta find a gift of that guy.
Okay, you want to know something offensive? So I just Googled, top Chappelle show skits.
Yeah.
And Maxim, the reputable source of Maxim for news.
Of course.
They shortlisted the top 20 Chappelle show skits.
Okay. Oh, skits.
Where do you think the Rick James, Charlie Murphy one ended up? Okay, you just looked at my screen, so Tracy.
The Rick James one?
Where do you think?
Either first or second.
7.
What?
Well, what's number 1?
Should be in the top motherfucking 3.
Yeah. What's number 1?
Is that the Real World before that? Oh.
Number 1 is The Prince, Charlie Murphy's.
Okay.
No.
Number 4 is Electric Guitar, Drums, or Electric Piano with John Mayer. I don't even remember that one.
That's the one where they're going around. They're like, well, white people can't dance. You just got to give them someone to dance to. And John Mayer plays guitar.
Oh, okay.
And the white people start dancing and
stuff.
stuff.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
And the Clayton Bigsby is number 5.
No.
They've got that wrong. What year was that put out? Seriously.
And it's Maxim Magazine.
Yeah. They're just like, slot, done. Whatever.
We're not going to actually
That's not even proper clickbait. That's bullshit.
It's not even proper clickbait.
Yeah. I'm offended by this.
Yeah, it should be like, you won't believe what's number 1. What? Click.
And then you're like, oh, you're just an asshole.
Yeah. Seriously. I think they're actively looking for people to troll them. That's all it is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. Well.
Yeah.
I don't have anything else. Do you got anything else there, Michael?
What? What?
I feel like
Tracy's like, just stop.
It's just, but also like just the conversations that you and I had when we were watching it. Like when when Dave Chappelle's talking about that and how he's saying about skeet all over the walls and how white people don't know what that is. I'm like, it's cum, right?
Huh?
Like, this is the conversation conversation at 10 o'clock at night on like a Wednesday on our couch.
That's the kind of conversation you're supposed to have 10 o'clock on Wednesday on your couch. Like, I mean, I think so. I don't know.
I think we can all agree that Chappelle's show is an iconic piece of comedic television.
Oh, geez. Mike's concluding his thesis.
Yes. So as you can tell,
has its controversial issues.
Yeah.
And Chappelle has turned into an old man. Just ranting about.
That might just be me that feels that way.
No, I was looking at some of the reviews of like the latest Sticks and Stones special, and critics are, in large part, they're not digging it.
No.
Well, that's the thing. I watched the one that came out before that one.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, you're just grumpy and you're yelling at me.
Right?
So.
And I noticed it the most when he was on SNL, when he hosted SNL, when he hosted when Donald Trump won.
Okay.
Literally, like,
he would have been.
That's right, the first episode.
And it was like, I mean, it was, there was a lot of funny stuff that he could say with that, and he did, and I laughed, but it was, again, like, just this, like, grumpy, and kind of just,
like, I know there's a general disbelief at the falling apart of America. I get it.
Yeah.
But the whole point of view is to help, not forget, but to make it slightly livable and then get into some sort of action.
Yeah.
So if you're just gonna yell at people, people are just gonna turn you off.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
and
all.
I do get frustration in people who are kind of like complaining, and that's their shtick. And I do think those people are funny, but it also, like, for me personally, I never thought Louis C.K. was funny. Like, even before the controversy of Louis C.K., I just didn't think he was that funny.
Honestly,
I think he's a whiny, ugly piece of shit, basically.
I never liked his stand-up, honestly. No. But what I did like, I liked the second iteration of his show.
Yeah.
But the thing is, though, I kind of felt bad about this when they're just like, oh, he's being sued for sexual harassment or whatever. I'm like, he wasn't already? Like, that was my first thought.
Yeah.
Because, like, if you watch his show, I'm like, he pretty much says he's a creepy old man.
Yeah. He's very open about that.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. But I guess maybe people thought that was just a persona, right? No. And then it's
that's just him.
Yeah, yeah.
So I mean, I just was not surprised. I was like, it's not one of those things where, like, you hear about somebody, you're like, oh my god, you too? How could you? I was just like, Louis C.K. charged with, oh, okay.
Yeah,
you know, like, it was.
Yeah. Yeah, Kevin Spacey, I was like, aw, everybody now?
Yeah.
But Louis C.K., I'm like, yeah.
Now I have to stop liking things. God damn it. You know? Or, like, every time I hear, like Jeffrey Tambor when I watch SpongeBob SquarePants, I get mad.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Thanks, Jeffrey.
God. Ruined Star versus the Forces of Evil. What's wrong with you? He got replaced, bitches.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, my God. Do you know what we haven't talked about? Half-Baked.
Well, because that's a movie that's off my shelf that we're just going to wait on.
Oh.
And on that note...
Shut up.
Yeah.
Shut your stupid mouth.
I didn't realize that movie came out so much before the show. 1998. Yeah.
So
I've never seen it before.
You're going to love it. And also, it was filmed in Toronto. You can spot Sam the Record Man is perfectly in there. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
My favorite line from that movie is... they got a whole bunch of money and they're not supposed to spend it, and one of them comes Chappelle's just like, you can't spend all this money, I told you to save it. And he's like, what, you told us that story about giving Mary Jane a pearl necklace. And he's like, you totally missed the point of that story. I'm not explaining it to you people, and if you don't know what it is, that's too bad for him. I'm just going to say this. Skeet, 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 skeet. It's
all over the neck.
Yes.
Because it's cum.
Yeah.
That's what you're referring to. That's what I learned today.
Yeah. We're mature adults. Yeah, so I think that's about it. No?
Yeah?
Yeah, let's wrap it up.
All right. So thank you guys for being here with me.
No problem.
And,
thank you.
Tackling sensitive subjects. Well, that's it for this episode of Off My Shelf. Until next time, you can follow along on Instagram and Twitter at Oh My Shelf, or you can send me an email at ohmyshelf@gmail.com. On the next episode, we are doing a Halloween special where we're talking about Evil Dead 2, and Ash versus the Army of Darkness. Hope you'll be here to listen.
I'll be in the corner listening. Uninvited.
What?
Chappelle Show. Chappelle Show. Chappelle Show.